What's up, back with another one, and today we are breaking down a heated debate about whether today's NBA is really tougher than the past. So let's check this clip out.
The latest episode of the Mind the Game podcast came out. No Steve Nash this week. Instead, Tyrese Halliburton was on the show. And obviously, Tyrese Halliburton is dealing with a torn Achilles recovery, and part of the conversation was focused on that. During the conversation, because he's dealing with an injury, they mentioned, hey, what do you think about the NBA's 65-game rule and its impact on all NBA and player award voting? During his answer, in an effort to explain away why he's not a fan of the rule, LeBron may have put his foot in his mouth once again. Take a listen.
Playing 82 games in the 80s and 90s is not the same as playing 82 games in the 2020s. It's just not. The way we play, the level of pace, the level of the speed that we're playing at, it's a different game now. It's a totally different game. You know, it's a lot of soft tissue injuries that's happened now because of it.
Straight, Boulder Dash, Poppycock. I mean, come on. Like LeBron, this is where people push away. You know, when you hear this and he's trying to justify and whatnot. We get the injuries and what's going on. People used to get injured there, and it was different defensively. But, Rob G., you did the research, right? Or you found out. You got them, too.
I got the numbers.
And the numbers just don't add up for LeBron, and that's the issue. And that's what we talk about. When you listen to these terrible podcasts and there's nobody there to push back and say, well, that's interesting, LeBron, because back in so-and-so, it's the same, and you're saying you're playing differently. What you got?
Man, let me tell you. You're right, because he is absolutely right what he said. It was
that's why I want
to
talk to Rob G. Then.
No, I got the numbers. No, I'm saying he's absolutely right, and that the 80s and 90s was way harder to play in, way more difficult to play in.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, because listen, let's talk about the numbers. First of all, LeBron typically. He can be this. He can be polarizing. He can be passive-aggressive. One of the things he normally is very astute when it comes to basketball. His acumen, he knows he's a historian. That's one of the things I appreciate.
How do you say that when he voted for Bronny for the All-Star game?
Well, that's his son. You know what I mean? Nepotism, cronyism.
Yes.
You got to get that done. But, you know, he usually is very well-studied, historically, knows the game. That's one of the things you can at least appreciate about him. This one, he's dead wrong in my opinion for multiple reasons. Number one.
Are we recording this?
The 80s was the absolute, to me, hybrid of the two. You got the fast pace, and he's talking about pacing. Let's talk about the pacing. In the 80s, it was the fastest. In fact, the only pace that they had was 1 year, 87 to 88, when they had a slower pace. They were at 99.6, which the current pace is at 99.6. After that, you're talking 100.6 to 102.1.
Did he ever watch Showtime?
Showtime. The Celtics, the Pistons, the 76ers with Dr. J, Houston with the Hakeem and Ralph Sampson. The Nuggets, they were going back in the day.
The Nuggets would score 175 points on a regular basis. Yes. Alex English and all those guys. Yes.
Kiki Vanderway. Not only were they playing at a higher pace, what else would you see? Punches, clotheslines, and hard fouls.
And they were physical. You come into the lane, guess what? You're going to get a two-piece and a biscuit.
So they are playing at a faster pace, way more physical. They didn't have commercial airlines. They did not have the advanced medicine and nutrition that they have right now.
They used to ride next to me on the plane.
Literally.
When I covered the NBA back then, NBA players sat next to me. We were on commercial flights. Yep. We took 6 a.m. flights out of every city. Mm-hmm. Like, that was an NBA rule, because back then you didn't come back home and get in your own bed. You would go on a road trip.
Yep.
And you would stay on the road, and you would fly to the next city, and we would be on those flights.
Hold on, because this is where it gets real interesting. Rob is not just disagreeing. He is bringing history, experience, and straight basketball logic into the conversation. From pace to physicality to travel and injuries, he is flipping the entire narrative and challenging how fans think about eras. Whether you agree or not, this clip definitely makes you rethink what tough basketball really looks like.
Exactly. So the idea that, it's just so hard now. All y'all do is go 35 feet out and set pick and rolls. Now, if you want to talk about soft tissue issues and why guys are beat up and brutal, I tell you why, and I've been telling this since the duration of me on this show. It's that they only play basketball since they were 6. and that's all they do. And they're playing for their team. They're playing for the travel league. They're playing AAU. Then they play for this team.
That's not what people did. They played all sports.
They played all sports. How many times we hear about guys playing football, baseball, basketball? Oh, I didn't really lock into basketball until my freshman year because the other years I was playing this. Or in high school, I had to decide which one am I going to finally commit to because I played all of these sports. That's the issue why guys are beat down, wore out. That's why LaMelo Ball is always injured, and Lonzo Ball is always injured, and Zion's always injured.
And they played 1 million games on the AAU circuit on the weekend.
6 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday.
Ridiculous.
Then I go back to my regular team, and I'm playing too much. But the idea that they're playing faster pace and it's harder. Yeah, right. You have everything catered to you. The best medicine, best nutrition, best travel, best doctors.
I don't remember any masseuses traveling when I was covering the NBA in the 80s. I don't remember. I don't even remember. There was some fat guy in there rubbing you down after a game.
That's about the best you got. What was the dude with the Pistons for all those 30, 40 years? What was his name? Mike
Abdenauer.
Abdenauer, exactly.
That's a good call for you. Very good. Mike Abdenauer.
Yeah. So I'm blown away with this one, LeBron. It's a big miss because they played at a faster pace throughout the duration of the 80s. They played much more physical basketball. They didn't have the advancement of medicine and technology. So I don't get where he's going. And guys do. And then your guy, Joe Dumars, came out and said they're saying there's no more when it comes to the load management, there's no significant data that concludes that you're better off with load management. There's no more. I'm quoting Joe Dumars here. Before it was a given conclusion that the data showed that you had to rest players a certain amount to justify them sitting out. We've got more data, and it just doesn't show that sitting guys out correlates with lack of injuries or fatigue or anything like that.
Because we've seen, even with the with the guys sitting out and load management, they still getting hurt.
Kawhi Leonard, they're still getting hurt. Paul George, the guys who sit out the most are injured the most. So that means you just are an injury-prone guy. Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. We can go on and on and on. So I was like, come on, LeBron.
But is this I don't know, is this fodder because he's not on the All-Star team and I'm trying to tell you how hard it is to try to state my case again because I feel like I'm losing. Yeah, okay, my son, I got him in the league, but he's not that good. The All-Star game is here in L.A. I didn't get voted in by the fans. The players didn't vote for me. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's piling up on the negative side.
I think it's the last-ditch effort. He's got what? This year, so we'll find out what if it's retirement playing. And then, obviously, I think next year would be the max. So I think this is last Hail Marys to make sure I prop up anything I did or I was a part of. And what generation is he a part of? This one.
I think the NBA is trying to – I think they're going to try to get fans to get in on that patch. That
23?
That patch that he has, but it'll be for smoking so that people will use it and they'll wear the LeBron patch.
I thought you were going to say he was smoking for this take.
Rob Parker completely rejects LeBron James's claim that the modern NBA is harder than the league of the 80s and 90s, arguing that the evidence, history, and lived experience all point the other way. He says the pace argument falls apart because teams in the 80s ran just as fast, and often faster, than today, with constant movement, quick shots, and relentless transition play. Rob highlights iconic teams like the Showtime Lakers, the Celtics, and the high-scoring Nuggets to show that speed was never lacking. Beyond pace, he stresses that physicality was far more intense, with defenders delivering hard fouls in the lane and little protection from the rules. According to Rob, players paid a real price for attacking the basket. He also emphasizes how much tougher life off the court was, recalling commercial flights, early morning travel, long road trips, and the absence of modern recovery tools, advanced medicine, and nutrition staffs. Injuries, in his view, are not proof the game is harder today, but a result of year-round basketball culture, early specialization, and endless youth games that wear bodies down before players reach the league.